Hello.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon. Um, from where I am, it is right exact afternoon. My name is 𝐶𝐿𝐉𝐎𝐘𝐒, communication leads, programs and partnership Sustainable Africa. I take this opportunity to welcome you to our fourth episode about branding and identity, being our and marketing. That is, as we continue with our uh, entrepreneurship webinar series through the month of August to mid-September, we are happy, as always, we welcome you here every Saturday, and we thank you so much for creating time to be with us here, especially our participants, our speakers. Already, I can see many members joining. Others are here, including our keynote speaker, 10-bit. Thank you so much for being time conscious. As we wait for the rest to come, I want to welcome you once again and ask you that we be more interactive. We ask questions, especially participants. This is not a lecture room, but we have opportunity to interact, collaborate, and ask questions and comment so that we make this particular session so interactive and lively. So we have our inbox section where you can share your comments, questions. We can also share um, our social media links, handles so that we follow each other. And that way we will build professional networks, which I'm sure, will turn meaningful as we move forward. Um, I will have my colleague as Nasiru, who will also be moderating this session with me. And also we have the blessings of our programs director, Abubakari Baba. So without much ado, we will invite our keynote speaker today, Tenbit Imbrias from Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. And we are happy that she's here. And we will give her an opportunity to introduce herself and pour her wisdom as we move forward. 10-bit, welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be with you all. My name is Tambit. So I'm a marketing manager with both a bachelor and master's degree in marketing management from Mekelle University, Ethiopia. Because why settle for just one, right? So with over 7 years experience, I'm also one of the top digital marketing voice on LinkedIn, certified in all big leagues like Google, Facebook, HubSpot, McKinsey, and the University of Illinois Urban Campaign, where I usually masters my digital media and marketing principle experience. So currently, I'm the marketing and sales effectiveness manager at 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄 Equipment, which is a Caterpillar dealer in Ethiopia. So this is about me.
Thank you so much. That is, it sounds brief, but very extensive. I know you've done a very serious summary on what you can do because when I was looking at your bio, it is so wide. But thank you so much for making it so brief and up to the point. So I want to remind our participants that today we are going to look at a brand identity, uh, digital media, marketing essentials, customer retention strategies.
Yes.
So those three elements will feature a lot. So we know that this topic is wide, but because of the limitation of time, we will ask our speakers to be brief. We know they can't cover all these, but let them give us essentials and we will appreciate as we move forward. So whatever we get here, we go on and continue reading more, doing research and practicing. Thank you so much. Then Bit, you can go on and give us your keynotes wisdom this afternoon.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'll start my presentation. Let me know if you can see. I'm trying to share.
Okay.
Is this visible?
Oh yes, I can see from my side.
Okay. Hoping everyone can see my sharing view. So today we will see basically about how you can master marketing and branding. As it is mentioned earlier, it's very tough to cover all the basic points within a given of 1 hour, but I'll try to be very brief. I don't want you to have a kind of presentation that you can easily get from Google, and I don't want to make it boring. So I'll try to stick to basic points that is very essential for you to understand. So when we say branding, branding is one of the most essential elements in building any type of marketing campaign, sales company, or any type of business. So, as we all have a name, a visual presentation, a tonality, and everything in a human being that differentiates us, me with you and with the rest of us. Brand is the basic element of any business. So when we say building a brand identity, there is three basic things that you need to be aware of. The basic thing is when we say brand identity, it is the visual and emotional representation of your brand. So this includes a logo, consistent visual elements, and a brand voice. So when we say logo and visual elements, yes, your logo is your brand face. So a logo needs to have a primary, secondary color schemes. You need to have a specific topography, image. How do you want to be recognized and positioned among your customers? So when we also come to the brand voice and message, you cannot have a different type of voice, different type of message and confusing your customers. You need to craft a brand voice that resonates with your target audience and that aligns with your brand personality. So your brand voice and message, it needs to be clear, consistent, and it needs to present your brand image and values. So let's see a real-time example. So for example, when we talk about brand identity, I would like to mention Apple. So Apple, they have a very clean design, innovative technology, and commitment to simplicity. So when you see their form of how they really craft the brand identity, Apple doesn't usually talk about a lot about their products. They talk about experience of quality and creative products. So they want you to, that's why they say think different. So when we talk about brand identity, Apple is one of the most among big examples that we can explain. When we see logo and visual elements, even though there is a McDonald's in our country or not, even though we consume their burger or not, McDonald's logo is one of the most phenomenal logo that most people can easily recognize. So how do they make their logo simple and easy to recognize? They keep on using the same color palette. They use the same type of typography across all their marketing platforms, so which helps them build trust and recognition. When we go to the brand voice and messaging, I think there is no better example that can beat Nike. So as you know, Nike, they have a very clear example of their brand voice. They have a clear voice which is motivational, empowering, and action driven. So when we say motivational, empowering, and action driven, it's aligns with their core mission. So as you know, Nike's slogan is just do it, right? So I try to put different examples here. If you follow every message of or every tonality of their advertisement, it is all about giving a motivation, dream, empowering, and all they focus is on action-driven orientation. So which they consistently communicate with this type of brand voice and message. The slogan "Just Do It" really makes sense. So this is one of the good example there. The brand value and mission Tesla is a very good example for this. So as you know, Tesla is, they're deeply committed to sustainability and innovation. As you know, we can say their mission is accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, which Tesla is an electric vehicle. So whenever they try to communicate their advertisement, they do not abandon their brand value and mission. So the brand, if you can tell with all this example, most big companies, most big brands, they don't leave their value and mission, they don't leave their voice and messaging, and they don't leave their logo or their visual element and brand identity. So when you have a consistent brand identity, when you have a consistent logo and visual presentation, when your voice and message across your advertisement is similar, and when you always reflect your value and mission, that means your customer will have a clear, precise, and a well-positioned brand value. So this is a simple example of why brand and the following a clear branding steps help you building a very great brand presentation. So when we say branding, right now, as you know, advertisement is getting expensive, especially in Africa. The traditional marketing is very expensive for we marketers. So now it's the era of digital marketing, right? So whenever you want to transmit your brand message, digital marketing comes as essential. So when we talk about digital marketing is one of the biggest topics, so we cannot address it with one given slide. But digital marketing there is three components that I want you to understand in order to have a better understanding of digital marketing. So the basic thing is you need to have a very good content. You need to engage your customers through social media marketing. And of course, if you are an e-commerce business owner, you should focus on SEO. So what do we mean with content marketing is that whatever you do, if your content is not attracting and retaining customers, it's useless. So when we say content doesn't only present the written content, but it's also the visual, it's also the blog, and it's also any type of form of ideas that you share with your target customer. So once you prepare your content, you need to have two things, right? Either you have social media marketing, which we said owned marketing, paid marketing, which is a deep explanation there. I'll leave it a slide. But social media marketing is one of the free owned media that you can share your content inputs. But what if you are really relayed on your website? You need to work better on your SEO, which is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization means that you need to optimize your website for high search engine ranking, for driving organic traffic. Search engine optimization cannot be achieved with paid advertisement. Search engine optimization is how quality content that you create on your website, how reliable is it, how helpful is it for people that searching for those questions. Google, Bing, and different type of search engines will give you your ranking. But most practically, we all digital marketers are fighting on the Google search engine optimization ranking, because mostly the high widely used search engine is Google. So while doing search engine optimization, you need to have a clear inputs on your website. You need to keep on posting blogs. You need to have analysis of your keyword research, which keywords are getting a high ranking. You need to have a backlinking and so on. So search engine optimization is one of the basic elements in digital marketing essentials. So let's see real-time examples. When we talk about content marketing, my favorite one is Red Bull. So as you know, Red Bull is an energy drink, but Red Bull never promoted as an energy drink. They produce vlogs, videos, even documentaries, and they position themselves as basically extremely with the sport and adventure stories. So as you can see here, it says find your wings, power on for strangers, and they keep on, if you take a look at their advertisement, they keep on pushing on sports and adventure sponsors, adventure sports and stories, rather than just promoting the energy drink. Also, if you see Dove, which is one of the most phenomenal example in content marketing, they focus on real beauty and self-esteem. If you keep on see it, instead of this traditional beauty advertisement, if you see their articles, videos, social media contents, they all promote is positivity and self-acceptance. So they position their self and their brand that genuinely cares about their customer well-being. So they have a very good, strong emotional connection with their followers and with their customers. So when you do content marketing, it is one of the essential things. When you produce any type of content, you should understand your customer. You should make them feel valued. You need to have a user-generated contents. You need to see in the perspective of your customers. So the content that you write should not always about you. The content that you write should also should be also the reflection of your customers. Let's see one of the good digital marketing campaigns that really helps brand to have the extra mile of coverage. So I'm sure you know this Coca-Cola Share a Coke hashtag, the Share a Coke campaign. So all over the world, this Coca-Cola campaign was very, very, very famous and very, very engaging. So if you see this, Coca-Cola make this campaign very viral using digital platforms, right? So how they make this is one of an example when we talk about user-generated contents or the feel-good kind of stories. So Coca-Cola is well known with their creative marketing campaigns, but Share a Coke is one of the most, the biggest campaign that they do to encourage their customer participation, and also it helped them build emotional connection. Imagine that you have your name on the drink that you buy in your Coke. That creates some kind of emotional connection, right? Also, if you walk through the store and if you see your friend name on the Coca-Cola bottle, that gives you some kind of connection. So you buy it and you take a picture and share it. So somehow this was one of the best phenomenal campaign. Also, if you know GoPro, they are known with especially their cameras. Usually, GoPro is used when you go out for a trip and for adventures. So what did they do was they create a campaign that's called GoPro Awards. So they invite their customers to submit their best footage with the chance to be featured on the win and the prize. The prize was good. They keep on even the picture that you are seeing, it is taken from the GoPro Awards. So which also the GoPro social media, the marketers, they also was posting the similar pictures that their customers were sending and submitting, so which give them a two-way kind of marketing interaction. So sometimes when you do marketing, especially when you go to digital marketing campaigns, your campaigns need to participate your customers. If it participate your customers, it helps you gaining a big amount of brand visibility. So when we come to customer acquisition strategies, so at first, as you know, there are a lot of steps for acquiring a customer, right? So in marketing, we have a marketing tunnels, sales tunnels, the different stages of acquiring our customers, right? There are different type of lead generation tactics and everything. So those are a very, very essential type of steps for everyone to understand. So when we talk about customer acquisition, I want everyone to have a clear understanding of what do we mean by customer acquisition. So how do we, because usually when we talk about acquiring customers, lead generation comes first, right? There are a different type of steps, but this came along on the first one. So when we talk about conversion optimization, so the idea of customer acquisition is that you have a customer that you want to acquire, but you need a strategy as a marketing. So the first thing is when you have a lead is it could be a name, email, address, and different information of a customer that helps you to attract, to contact, and to change it to a prospect. So usually a lead is something that you need to attract when you want to do, especially you use it for business to business kind of marketing orientation, and also business to customer kind of marketing orientation. So whenever you have a lead generation need in your customer acquisition strategy, you need to have targeted advertising, promotion, and a strategic partnership to attract new customers. So for example, if you see Google, when you go to Google to have a lead generation campaigns, you can use YouTube, you can use search engine, you can use App Store, the application store, the Google App Store. Also, you can use the surf of the web. So you have a different type of lead generation campaign placements. But the basic thing here is you can get the first step is how can you get the leads? So you can get the leads via different type of tactics. The first one, and usually the most practiced one, is having a very good landing page, especially for websites. They have a very good landing page, and they make sure that you fill the forms. They give you something for free, or they will tell you they will give you a discount, or they will tell you can get this document if you fill this email, blah, blah, and all the details, right? So Dropbox is also the most famous one. Here, like, they make you sign up, they make you tell them your email and everything. Then after they get that specific information, they make sure that they use that for their marketing advertisement. So when we talk about especially lead generation, it is always good that for marketers to have a very good account engagement. So for example, there are different stages. For example, at first, that customer might not be aware of your product's best position value or best value that you can provide them. So there will be the awareness stage. Okay, they are aware now. Are they interested in buying it now, or are they interested to buy it next year or after 6 months? Are they looking for a loan? Are they looking for a down payment? Are they looking for what kind of interest do they have? Then they will go to action. The action will be, are they going to proceed buying your product and service, or are they going to reject it? But through all these steps, the marketing activity and the marketing strategy plays a vital role. So are you doing the basic, because it's useless to have your customers' information, and if you don't do the perfect follow-up or the necessary follow-up, right? Or it might be on your social media, you post something good, but even after you post something good, there are a lot of requests for price, for location, and for the product's description, and maybe different things. But if you are not answering for those questions, if you are not following up, and if you are not calling them, if you're not messaging them, if you are not reminding them, that means you cannot acquire your customers. So for many brands, it's all about like posting things, promoting things, and the CTA or for the call to action is very weak. So whenever you try to do the social media marketing, the traditional marketing, or any type of marketing, your customer acquisition strategy plays a vital role. So you need to have the CTA call to action, user-friendly design, and that will help you to convert the leads to valuable customers. So when we say call to action, your call to action needs to be customized based on your content. For example, if your call to action, for example, if it is phone call, the phone number, if it is email, if it is 24/7 chatbots, and it could be something that you want to drive toward your customer list, right? So your call to action needs to be sharp. For example, if you want to push your store visit, you need to focus mainly on advertising or putting the call to action your location. If you want to get high amount of phone call, then you need to put your cell phone number or your business number. And all this is related to the normal business, but if you have e-commerce, you need to have a user-friendly design that is not complicated. Easy, clear, and which helps your customer signing up, or it could be for a monthly newsletter, or it could be anything to subscribe to your marketing activities. So it is very essential. It doesn't matter how many dollars that you spend on your marketing. It doesn't matter how many efforts that you put over your marketing or your branding. If you don't have a clear customer acquisition strategy, if you say, for example, somebody calls, the product may be out of stock, you just tell him, oh, I'm sorry, it's out of stock. And if you forget him, you are not doing right. So you need to have a very clear kind of strategy. The first thing it could be, you need to have CRM, so your customer relationship management software. So it could be simply an Excel sheet. It doesn't even have to be a high investment. It could be an easy Excel sheet. Whenever you have a phone call, you will make sure to write the details there. This was Mr. X called me. This was the phone number. He heard the advertisement from this platform. He requested for this product, and this product was out of stock. Then whenever that product is back to stock, you need to make sure that your sales team or you making sure to call back to that customer. Hello, how are you doing? Last time you requested for this product and service, but unfortunately that was out of stock by then. But now we stock it back. Are you interested to have one? So see, you are trying to acquire your customer even after you lose it. So also it works for loyal customers. You don't you cannot keep on saying thank you for coming back. No, you need to have a strategy to make it a loyal customer, right? It could be whenever you buy 3 items, we give you a 2% discount, or whenever you do this, you find this. For example, if it is food, whenever you are on our loyalty program, we will make sure to deliver it for you for free. It could be different type of strategy, but your strategy needs to focus on new customers and loyal customers, so that you need to have different tactics in order to acquire your customers. So when we go to the customer retention strategies, how do you retain your customers? Okay, now they are interested on your product and service. They utilize your product and service, they use it, they like it, now they are your customer. Okay, they are your customer and you forget them on your customer side, that is very wrong. So you need to have your retention strategy. So on the retention strategy, feedback and improvement is one of the most essential thing here. If you don't collect your customer feedback, if you don't work on those feedback, if you don't improve your customers' comments, then you are lost. Those customers might not come again and again. So for you to retain your customers, you need to work and you need to keep up on collecting your customers' feedback. So how do you collect those feedbacks? For example, let's see Amazon Prime. So Amazon Prime, as you know, they have a different line of business on the Prime side. But what they do is whenever you give a feedback, you have a reward. So what do they do is there are, whenever you keep up on buying from them, whenever you keep up on giving your comments, your feedbacks, when you are engaged, when you are loyal, then you have your own reward. So their loyalty program is one of the successful loyalty program in the world. So the other one is how do you build a relationship with your customers? Okay, you are keep up on taking feedback, you are keep up on trying to improve and everything, but how do you build a relationship? So when we talk about building your relationship, one of the my favorite one is Starbucks ideas. So in Starbucks, there is my Starbucks idea, if you ever happen to use it. So this is like, whenever they have a new drink, it is like you provide a suggestion on their mobile app. They have a mobile app, right? So whenever like you drink something, whenever you have some new experience or you want improvement, you keep on going there and telling them your ideas. Or it could be, how about you mix this latte with this coffee, or how about you do this, you do that. They keep on following their customers' comment. By listening them, they keep on adopting based on the customer feedback. So whenever we say about building relationship, sometimes building relationship doesn't mean like just giving them, reward them and everything. Sometimes it also means that understanding their pain point, understanding their problem, understanding if there is any personalized service or product, that if they are looking for something different. So whenever you have building a very good relationship with your customers, that means that they're happy, you are taking their feedback, you are trying to improve. For example, one customer give you a call and they are not happy with one of the product you provide them. They tell you that it doesn't meet the standard that they were looking for. Okay, what do? They already took the first initial step of giving you their comment, right? Oh, okay, sir, I'm sorry. Next time we will improve it or something. Do you think it will make your customer happy? No, it will not gonna make them happy because it's a product. They will keep on using those products and they're not happy even the first day, right? So you might say, oh, I'm sorry, sir, you don't like how we paint the furniture? Okay, how about we take it back? Just redo it as your need and bring it back to you. We are really sorry that this happened to you. Then the customer might say, okay, or the customer might say, no. But depending on their decision, you put your effort, you change it, you work on the drawbacks and you work on the failure points that doesn't make your customer happy. You listen to them. Even sometimes you might lose money. You lose money, but you will have a very strong and a very long-term customer. So as you know, it is very hard acquiring a new customer than keeping the old customer. So it doesn't matter if you get a new customer every day. That's useless. If you work on your retention strategy to have your customers, your previous customers, your loyal customers, to keep up on your customer list, that will be a very excellent idea. So considering everything in one, the basic thing that we try to see today is whenever there is a marketing, there is a branding, and in order to have a very good branding or a brand identity, you need to have a very good memorable logo, you need to have a very good visual elements, you need to have a clear and a consistent brand voice and messaging, and we see different type of brand identity, we see different type of logo and visual element example, the brand voice and messaging, we see also the brand value and mission. When we come to digital marketing essentials, we discussed about how content marketing plays a vital role on your digital marketing essentials, how content will help you as a brand. It will help you in the industry to build the authority, attracting and retaining customers. Also, we mentioned that content marketing doesn't mean only written content. It means various content formats, blog, video, infographic, and different type. And we mentioned that social media is one of the owned media that could help you building your fan base, engaging with your customers, and selling what you can offer. So as social medias are, most of them are free for business, it's one of the most clever idea to optimize it really well, and having shared your good contents on social media, and also for companies using their websites regularly and their business depending on the website, especially like e-commerce and everything. Search engine optimization plays a very big role. We say that search engine optimization means optimizing the search engine, and we see like especially the SEO is you need to be on the higher search engine ranking, and it's one of the most essential things when you depend on your website. For search engine optimization, if you know HubSpot, they are a very good example for their excellent search engine optimization. So please take a look at the HubSpot website. They really doing a very great work. They have their own page optimization. Their keyword matching is very good. Whenever you ask something about marketing, they usually pop up on the first ranking of Google. Also, we try to see different content marketing examples, especially we take a look at Red Bull and Dove. Also on the digital marketing campaign, there are a very different type of successful and unsuccessful campaign, because when we talk about the unsuccessful campaign, I bet you remember Balenciaga's last campaign, how it cost them their brand, how it cost them everything that they have built over years because of one single campaign. So whenever you do a digital marketing campaign, since it is all out there and you don't have no control on the campaigns, you need to really extra careful that it doesn't contradict with different values, beliefs, and practices. But I try to share you one of my favorites, Coca-Cola's Share a Coke campaign, and also GoPro's GoPro Award campaign. Also, regarding customer acquisition strategy, we have discussed that specifically about lead generation and why lead generation is very essential. And regarding lead generation, especially using Google, what does it mean? Targeted ads, different type of placements for lead generation tactics, conversion optimization, which is whatever you do. If you are looking for acquiring a customer, your call to action and your website design needs to be a user-friendly design. And finally, also we talk about customer retention strategy. So as I mentioned, there are a lots of retention strategies. The only retention strategies are not feedback and improvement and building relationship. There are a lot of, but these are the most essential that I want to bring up today. So as a business owner or as a marketer or as someone who's involving in business, it is very okay to always have a feedback and the improvement line for our products. Every product is not perfect. Every service is not perfect. There are very creative things that we usually get from our customers. So taking feedbacks, make them feel heard, and building a relationship, involve them on your app development, involving them on your menu, and involving them on your different business ideas. It's gonna help you building a better one. So this is a very brief one and a very short one, but I believe that it gives you a good insight. I would like to thank you for your attention. There are still few minutes left, so I'll be here if you have any question.
Wow. It has been a moment of, can I call it a spiritual learning, you know? The presentation is clear, and perhaps the silence of our participants. I've looked at the inbox section, and I know majority are taking it through AI, but I know this has been very brief. And you were given 45 minutes, actually 45, but you've
Yes.
done it in 40 minutes.
Yes.
And I thank you. Perhaps the question I would ask you, as other participants prepare to ask their questions, and I encourage them to do so. Now, this branding and marketing is wide.
Yes.
Where does a startup, or would a startup begin from? Because it's wide. Where do you advise, from your extensive experience, where do a startup should begin from when thinking about branding and marketing? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's a very good question. So, for me, if you ask me for my opinion, most of the people, I mean, for most startups, the biggest issue is that they start with marketing without starting from branding. So, what is needed there is that if you don't have a clear brand, what are you going to market? That's a very good question, right? Because you don't have identity, you don't have a voice, you don't have a mission that you want to communicate, you don't have nothing, but you go and market it. So every startup needs to start from their branding. Branding plays a big role. In what position do we want to be positioned on the mind of our customers? For example, see, like after you look someone, you say, oh, that person is very serious. That person likes white dress. That person likes this kind of haircut. That person likes this or that. That means you know that person brand value, right? So similar like that, when you don't have a clear marketing explanation, when you don't have a clear marketing branding understanding, then you go out to the market and you are confusing your customers. For example, in Africa, we have a very funny brand presentation. We say that we are very, very durable. We have a very durable product, and yet we are affordable, and yet we are everywhere, and yet we give every type of brand unique names along with one brand element. So we cannot confusing our clients. If we have, for example, if we have a luxury product, no, we are not affordable. We are luxury, and we're looking for the luxury brand line, and we are marketing with the luxury brand line, and yes, we are marketing with those specific niche market. So whenever we have a clear understanding of what type of brand are we building, are we helping other people through our sustainable inputs, are we helping the customers having their own interest through our product, what do we really want to address with that specific brand? And after we have a clear understanding of the brand, because the brand usually say that, for example, there are brands that are very humorous, right? They have a humorous tone, their wording and everything, they are crafted in a way of a funny content. So those brands will have their own type of communication. So at first you need to stand and say, this is what I want. This is my brand. This is my presentation. My brand doesn't do a joke. My brand doesn't do this. My brand doesn't present the brand identity via, for example, sales promotion. My brand do this. My brand do that. Then after you have a clear 2-page of what your brand is, then you will take that to the market. So branding comes first. For any of successful companies out there, you don't rely on the company, you rely on how the brand is crafted. Because you can see easily when you use iPhone product, there is some brand identity, there is some brand perception that you feel toward while using iPhone, right? For example, why do you choose Samsung over iPhone? Why do you choose Tecno over iPhone? Why do you choose Lenovo over Dell? There are some related product differentiation, but mainly it depends on how that makes you feel when you use the product. So you really need to start with branding. Once you have a clear understanding of a brand name, then you can consider having out to market it on the audience.
Thank you so much. I want to request you to stay there. I've checked on the inbox. Still, I cannot see questions, but I want to trust. For sure, the presentation has been very clear. The silence means two things. We have understood everything, or we are confused, but it has been clear and crisp and up to the point. We will channel questions as they become. Kindly stay there as we welcome our next speaker, who is 𝐿𝐃𝐿. 𝐿𝐃𝐿 is one of the champions of branding when it comes to agriculture. He is top agribusiness voice, entrepreneur, a member of Agri-Influence in Rwanda. Currently is leveraging the power of digital technology to improve the livelihood of farmers. And I believe, Cloud, you are in China, or are you back? Take the space and talk to us.
Yeah, but by now I'm back. I'm back to Rwanda. Can you hear me?
Very clearly.
Okay, thank you so much. I was listening to 𝐇𝐎𝐿. Is it the real pronunciation of your name?
It's 𝐇𝐎𝐿. It's 𝐇𝐎𝐿.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. I was learning more about how Tesla is advertising their product in Nike and those biggest brands across the world, and I think that we need to learn more about them. So for me, I was requested by Sustainable Africa to deliver like a keynote speech, but for me, I think that everything has been, shared when it comes to branding and everything around that. And when it comes to marketing, as 𝐿𝐃𝐿𝐄, is it the real pronunciation?
Kelvin, that is L.
Okay, Kelvin. Okay. As Kevin said, I think that for me, maybe I can start by introducing myself. My name is 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄, and I am based in Rwanda. I started to use social media for promoting what's going on in agriculture value chain, but we focus on the marketing and on how farmers can make sure that they brand, they market, they find opportunities in agriculture, but by using social media. So, and I started that in 2021. And it has been a lot of experience, a lot of opportunities to learn from those things about marketing and branding. And from that, I have been able to meet with different farmers, teach them how they can take a nice picture of their produce and how they can market their produce over social media, or maybe by using also the word of mouth, since those people also need to hear from what the farmers are doing. So I think that today you are exploring how marketing and branding in agriculture, because I'm into agriculture, can be transformed by the power of social media. As you know, in Rwanda, in Africa, I know that most of the people are from Kenya, from Nigeria, and the other countries. Agriculture is the backbone of our economies, especially in Africa. Yeah, and in this era of digital revolution, I think that when you check on the statistics, you can see that over 4.9 billion are social media users globally. And this is an opportunity for people in agriculture, but also for the people in the other business to build the brands, connect with the customers, and create values. We have been learning more about how we can create values and how we can do branding and marketing in a ways that is cheaper but also effective to make sure that we can get more customers, you can get different business deal. And we have seen that also when you see around the studies, when you try to do a lot of research, you can see that 71% of the customers are more likely to purchase from the brands they follow on social media. So we have been, seeing, maybe Elon Musk. Elon Musk is trying to promote Tesla indirectly, and Tesla is promoting itself. And those people are buying Tesla, are buying them because they follow them over the social media. They see the impact. They see the impact that they are trying to bring when it comes to sustainability, environmental sustainability. But when you see, maybe when I say about the farmers in Africa, this means that a well-crafted online presence can turn local business into a global brand. When you have product, when you are involved in any agricultural value chain, and you have like online presence, you can turn into the local brand in shortest period of time. In my country, I can give you some example. In my country, we have like 33% of the GDP coming from agriculture, and the people like SMEs have tried to leverage the platforms like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp to boost, their agri-product visibility. And most of them are trying to have opportunities to, to sell their product outside of the countries. There are some of the farmers, one of my friends who is selling chili peppers in India and China. And it started when he started to use social media to showcase what he was doing, starting from production, starting from everything that he was doing in his farms. And by now he's selling his produce overseas because of branding, because of social media. And as you know, social media also offer a cost-effective marketing solution. There is one of the survey that I was trying to lead, and I saw that the business which spend 62% less on digital marketing than traditional marketing, and yet they have reached a much wider audience. And yeah, sometimes when those business spend more money in trying to craft their brand, yeah, we have been learning more about those things. And from that, those business can see more wider audience and the more wider customers. And when I was following the previous conversation, that presentation, we have seen that most of those business which have strong global brands, they use storytelling, visual content, and customer engagement. And I think that when it comes to agriculture, we can also try to build the trust, enhance brand loyalty, and drive sales by trying to use the craft of storytelling, because storytelling is very good when it comes to marketing and branding, because you are talking to the people, and the people have something like emotion, something that drive emotion. And when you try to use storytelling, it's better for you to make sure that you can have more people who trust you, because you are not selling your produce to the animals, you are selling them to the people who have also emotion, who want to really understand the values of your product. And nowadays people are not buying the product, they're buying the story behind. And when you tell a story, it's better for you to attract and maintain more audience, which can be turned into royal customers. Without taking much of your time, I can see that since when I talk about my experience, I have seen that using social media is no longer an option for any of the business and any of the person who want to build a personal brand, because I think that by now it's essential. When you look at digital economy, creative economy, and how it is growing, you can see that all of us we need to have an online presence, because in the future most of the people are trying to bring much focus on the online. And I can conclude by saying that let's try to make sure that we involve more into marketing and branding, and try to see how we can have a strong brands that drive audience, which can be turned into customers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jean. This is a great insights. But I have a few questions for you, and kind of tell us. Whenever we are talking about branding and marketing, participants or many people think that it is about business. Business is about people. I myself, you yourself, you have about 83.3 thousand followers on Twitter. How did you get there? That was branding. How has branding helped you get to such a good crowd and who keep on increasing? Because that is branding. How do you market yourself? Now you.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Maybe I will try by sharing my personal story. When I started to use social media platforms, I was a student in university because I did agriculture. And from that, I also had a farm which was near to my university. And then from that time, when I started to see what other people were sharing over social media, most of them were trying to, share like, about the business, about the sport. People who love, let's say, Manchester United, who loves, those kind of other entertainment. But when you see the people in agriculture, most of them didn't have like people who can, talk about agriculture. People can, make, more impression about agriculture. And for me, what I did was to share my journey, to share what was going on, to share, my story. Like, when I'm in the farm, I can try to share something which is going on in my farms. When I have like some activities around agriculture, I try to share to the people, and the people tried to believe in me as a person who was sharing the real life, experience. And from that, when I attend the conference, I share what I have been able to learn from that conference. When I meet with other farmers, I share his or her stories. And from that, people try to see that this person is someone who is sharing what is going on in agriculture, but not as something which is, like those scientists, but he's also sharing his real life journey and real life activities. And from that, I tried to get people who tried to follow me and who believed that I'm trying to make something which have more impact. And apart from that, I also tried to collaborate with other people who were involved in the same industries, because when you are trying to build a personal brand, it's better also for you to collaborate with other people. And I try to to engage with their content, to ask them different challenge that I'm facing, share my stories with them. And I build a strong community, a strong online community. And yeah, from that, I get an opportunity to go to different conference to speak about agriculture, about youth empowerment, about how farmers are trying to navigate around digital agriculture, and how the farmers can make sure that they utilize social media to market their produce. And from that, I was able to, to engage with them and then get more followers who trusts, what I'm sharing. And most of them have become a friend. So yeah, this is my experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I asked you this question as a case study because all of us has followers. So the same things that you're saying, we have learned attending conferences, collaborating. You cannot have followers if you don't engage them and also engage where people meet to discuss things of the same resonation or resonate, so that you share branding, and by explaining your stories is part of the branding that 10 bytes said, and the same thing you've repeated. So just stay there. We will channel questions as fast as we get them. So our next speaker is Elizabeth. Elizabeth, welcome. Take this opportunity, introduce yourself. We are not going to limit your introduction, and tell us all the wisdom that you have for us today.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's morning from here. I'm trying to share my screen. Please give me a few minutes to share my screen, please.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I like videos a lot. I like when people get to see my face, which is why I turned on my camera. Yeah. So just pardon me for
Yeah,
turning.
that's okay. That's okay. Actually, that is what I like myself. I believe some members, it is because either they're not in a place where they can have a good lighting. So others don't like, but maybe they want physical appearance in terms of
All right.
conferences.
So
But you can go on.
please, yeah, just give me a few minutes to share my screen, entire screen. Please confirm you can see my screen right now.
Oh yes, it is coming. It's coming.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the first speaker already. She already did justice to a lot of things in this topic that we're going to be speaking on. But I would be touching on, yeah, still the same thing. She already did justice to a lot of it already. But I would be speaking on brand identity, digital marketing essentials, and customer acquisition tactics. Then also touching on some of the KPIs and also some other strategies we can use in digital marketing, especially in 2024. At least some of the things that worked for me so far. My name is Elizabeth, and thank you very much for listening to me as you listen. So who is Elizabeth? Elizabeth is a Nigerian. She's a graduate of a national open university in Nigeria, also an alumni of product marketing school in the UK. I'm also a member of an association here in Nigeria. I mean, it's actually a global association also. I'm also a journalist, double down as a journalist. I currently work in a bank, in a financial institution here in Nigeria, Sterling. I work as the product marketing manager for the product payments, the payment products generally in the institution. I have worked in this Zabira's technology. I've worked in Boomplay Music, Nigeria, Kenya, and Ghana. I worked in Reliance Health. I've worked in Proclean. Proclean happens to be a company in the US. I've also worked in Transnet Media, and a gym enthusiast. I'm an interesting person. I like to call myself that. That's why you see my picture there. Thank you very much. So the table of content we're going to be. Please confirm you can hear me, and I'm clear enough.
You are clear. You are
Yes, we
clear.
can hear you.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Like I said, the first speaker, she already touched on a lot of things. I was even surprised because I was thinking that we're going to be touching on different topics. but I already designed the slides already. So I'm like, okay, let's just, still talk on it, even when she has did a lot of justice to it. The first thing I'm going to be mentioning here, like I said, the key highlight of things I would be touching on are these few things: the brand identity, digital marketing essentials, customer acquisition strategies, budget considerations, measuring your metrics. That's the KPI you use in your marketing field, and the marketing trends that happened so far in 2024. Thank you. Now, also let's not. I had to remove some things based on the first speaker because I was like, okay, she had defined a lot of things already. So let me just quickly make it as brief as this, since she has already touched on that. So now, defining your brand identity. The first thing we should also consider before defining your brand identity is knowing the targets you want to speak to. The people you want to speak to has to be the first thing on your line of interest. Like, let's say, for instance, I want to create a brand for myself. I'm a YouTuber. I probably forgot to mention that. When I wanted to start my YouTube channel, I asked myself, who are these people I want to speak to? What exactly do I want to speak to them about? It was then I told myself, okay, since this is the name of the channel I want to also, start calling myself, all right, why not just speak to these people and then start creating this niche around my personality, which brings us into your brand identity. Now, the first thing you should also always look at when you want to define your brand identity is leveraging a consistent branding. Consistency in branding effort can lead to a revenue increase of up to 23%. And now let me use myself as an example again. One thing I've learned so far, I call myself Cecilizi. And the reason I call myself Cecilizi that's my brand name is because I have seen myself as someone that is, sassy and, likes to just be so girly and all of that. And I realized that a lot of people around me also see me as that. Over the years, places I have worked, there's different cultures in those organizations, but because I have maintained the person I am, he has given me that consistency in building the fact that you can't change me. Even as I work in the bank right now, I still maintain, my girly self. I don't have to put myself in the old corporate mood every time. And sometimes it's very funny because people would ask, are you not working in the bank? Yes, but I still maintained the person that I am. And I think it's one of the things that helps my YouTube channel most of the time, because 2017 till now, I still maintain the same person, the same people you would see when you come to my channel, the same way you see me speak, the same attitude you see me give, the same kind of content that I know will give you value, which is about leveraging consistent branding. If your logo, your keywords, the things you say when you want to introduce yourself, a lot of all those things would always help you when you are consistent with it. That's in branding. Now, focusing on trust and authenticity. 81% of consumers require trust in a brand. Now, let's take it to a brand right now. As a brand, as a product, you want to make sure that people trust you. You don't want to give people, like, for in Nigeria right now, there's an association called ACON. They're an association that actually verify your product. Whatever content you want to put out, they verify it first. Now, they're not, I understand that, yeah, probably people have personal goals and all of that, but I also want to believe that they do these things because they want to make sure that whatever tagline you are putting yourself in, whatever thing you call yourself, say you say, oh, a new way to live, they want to know, are you sure that you are a new way to live? Do people trust you? Are people saying it online that you are a new way to live? So it is very important that you focus on the trust, and you have to be authentic in anything you do when you want to build a brand identity. Then we have define your brand mission, vision, and values. It is very important to always establish a clear purpose, your future goals, and core beliefs to guide brand development. I want to believe that this is actually a very known thing. If you don't have a brand mission, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have values that you are looking forward to sell to your consumers right now and in the future, I I want to believe that you've definitely not, like I said, one of the things I had always wanted to sell is my lifestyle, is my personality. is the fact that I know that I'm a very likable person. I can be very friendly. So it's one of those things I sell in my channel. When people come to my channel, I do till now when my friends see me, they're like, hey, Sister Lizzie, because I had been consistent with that. I had always make sure that people come to my channel, they also see value in the things that they get. There's a mission, there is a vision to the fact that, okay, this is where I want to be 2017 till now, and I'm very consistent with it. And people still trust the fact that, okay, when I say I'm going to post a video Saturday 10 p.m., I am posting that video at that time. And whatever it is I am posting, I'm not posting anything that is going to make them distrust me, anything that is going to make them say, oh, she's saying the truth or not. So this is just me, trying to relate it, but there are a lot of examples that can be used as a brand. So I'm going to be moving to the next slide, which brings us into digital marketing essentials. Some of these things are very common. I want to believe that we're probably familiar with some of these essentials when it comes to digital marketing. One of the essentials here is building a strong brand identity. That is why I spoke about the brand identity in the first slide. Establish a unique brand identity to differentiate you from your competitors. Create brand loyalty. One of the mistakes a lot of people usually do, and right now, if we're being sincere, we would see that the market is saturated. Like a lot of brands are waking up every day to create something. Your competitors are every day. Like now, where I currently work, I remember us like trying to do an offering. We wanted to do an offer that says, okay, as a new user, you do something, something, something. Then I did a competitor analysis of this offer, trying to see what other competitors are doing. I realized that a lot of my competitors that are not even, I can't even count them as my competitor because my brand is bigger than their brand, but they are doing more than I am currently trying to sell to other people. But the truth is, if I'm able, because I'm a strong brand, I already build a strong brand identity, and a lot of people already trust the brand because it's a traditional bank. A lot of people trust their money in traditional banks. I'm able to, if I'm as I'm trying to build the campaign, after doing my competitor analysis, I was able to now see how I can coin it to make sure that people that are going to be coming in, even when they are seeing those other offers that are very juicy, that are very bigger than, oh, what this person is selling, they are able to trust me to come and say, okay, let me put my money here. I mean, I want to believe that my money is safer in this place than in that other place. So it is very, very important to build a very, very strong brand identity. Now, utilize your SEO effectively. Search engine optimization is a very crucial skill that every digital marketing personnel should have, because it is crucial for your online visibility, your website optimization, optimizing your content, your structure to rank higher on search engines. Funny thing is that SEO is not even just about your website anymore. SEO is now bigger than, because the way you optimize your LinkedIn, the way you optimize your Instagram, the way you optimize your Twitter, it will help when people go and search you online for whatever they want, whatever name they want to see. So if you optimize your search engine, your name, your biographies, if you're able to optimize carefully, you would see how this thing is going to help you when people search your products, your personnel, anything they're searching, they're able to search you and your visibility is going to be seen to people. Now, leveraging social media influence. I don't know if it's all of us that are on social media yet. Are we all on social media on this platform, please? If you are not on social media, let me know if you're not on social media. But I want to believe that majority of us on this call right now are on social media, and we all see the power social media has. I don't know if you guys have seen where someone just posts something funny, even if it's not funny, and maybe a popular person engages it, and before you know it, the person blows up. I saw a video yesterday on Twitter. A guy usually just sings on the road. He has a very grateful voice, and he sings. And a lady saw him on the road, and she recorded him, and she posted on her Instagram. You guys won't believe that the manager of Eko hotels here in Nigeria invited the guy to come and sing. Eko hotels is a very big hotel in Nigeria, one of the 5 stars hotel in Nigeria, and they invited him. And this is just because of the power of social media. So it is very, very important to allocate some of your budgets to social media marketing. And it's not just about social media marketing. We are still going to get to the content part, but it is very, very important to make sure that as much as you are putting your budget in social media marketing, you are churning out quality content to people. You're churning out content. And one thing I had also, which I'm not going to speak on, like, go base into it, is content marketing, which I think a lot of people still overthink it, but maybe some other time. But yeah, don't overthink your content. Whatever you want to put on your social media, just look at it from the form of, okay, I want to go viral, yeah, but let me just do something. It's always good to plan. It's always good to be putting script and all of that, but you'll be shocked that the video you didn't plan, the content you didn't even put so much script into, is the one that is just going to go as far as possible. So yeah, very important to leverage social media influence for your brand. Then the last one here on my list is develop customer acquisition strategies. As a brand, you want to get people. You want people to come into your product. You want people to know your products. You want people to use your products, especially if you sell products. If you sell, like, if it's not just I mean, a lot of people actually sell products. They want people to, for instance, we sell people to come download the app, sign up, and all of that. So I mean, we sell products. So you need to develop your strategies. What strategies do you want to use to market to these people, attract them, retain them, and also focus on personalizing their experiences? There are different ways to do this, but I think we're going to get there as we go into the slide. Please, I can't see my screen. I can't see you guys, but if you can hear me, please kindly say I can hear you or something, so that I'm sure that I'm not speaking to myself.
I can hear you.
All right, thank you. Perfect. So yeah, I mentioned I was going to speak on customer acquisition strategies real quick. These three are like the three I have experimented in 8 years, 9 years in marketing, and they've worked perfectly. They've worked perfectly. There is one that is not here, which is push notifications, but it also falls under email marketing, because as you push email, you also push notifications. Yeah, these three, email marketing, referral programs, and targeted ads, are one of the three good ways, or three, ways that have worked for me. Let me not put it to everybody, because I mean, there are a lot of ways to actually acquire your customers, but I would start with the targeted ads. Utilizing your data analytics to identify and target specific customer demographics, tailoring ad content to match audience preferences, and increasing engagement and conversion. There are different ways to actually do targeted ads. You can do it on social media. You can do it on Google Ads. You can do Twitter ads now. You can do Snapchat ad. There's TikTok. There's also making sure that the people you want it to see, the people you want your ads to get to, it is who it is getting to. Let's say, for instance, I want to speak to people that are parents that are going to be right now. Schools are going to be resuming soon. I want to run an ad that speaks to parents that are going to be paying school fees, where they can get loans in my platform, where they can get loans and all of that. And my ads is going to be targeted, because I can't speak to the old demographics. So I would definitely be speaking to a particular age demographic, their interests, their locations, and all of that. And this is what targeted ads is mostly about. Referral programs is, let's say, for instance, let me give an example of when I was at Reliance. I started a referral program at that time, which is regarding influencer marketing. I put up some influencers. I did a research on micro influencer, nano influencer, macro influencers. I put it together. I'm like, okay, what can these people do for me? I don't have money to give to you. I'm not going to give you my money. But what can I do to, pay you back? I put up a strategy around, giving influencers 6 months free healthcare, one of the biggest healthcare levies that we have. All you just need to do is post about us when you use us. Don't post about me when you have not used me. I don't want you to talk about me in a way that is not original. I want you to use my healthcare service. I want you to use my HMO, and then say, oh, when I used this place, this is how my experience was. When people download with your link, when they sign up with your link, they also get 1 month free with your referral code. I can tell you for a fact that this referral program actually increased our revenue around that time in about 65%. in marketing at this time, revenue from marketing, because one thing a lot of people had always struggled with is attributing marketing blessings. I think I should put it that way. Marketing saying, oh, this is what marketing had done and all of that. We increased in that percentage at the time when we ran this. Until I left, that strategy was maintained. That strategy, and it's still maintained till now, because I still see a lot of influencers on Twitter, talking about it and all of that. So it's always important to see how you can leverage referral programs. And one thing I've also learned is that in marketing, we all test, we all experiment. So if it doesn't work, doesn't mean that if you do it the other way, it won't work. So if you do it a certain way, don't give up and say, oh, I've done it this way, I've spent money, it's not going to work. It's always good to also research to understand that, what do my audience want? What are the kind of content? What are the kind of offers are they looking at? What's going to interest them? I would say that one of the things that actually made me stick to that strategy was the fact that I realized that a lot of Nigerians do not like to pay for healthcare. As little as the money was at that time, which was, I think, the lowest was about 3-5 ish. It's not like they don't just fancy it, because I mean, they don't, maybe everybody's okay, everybody's well, and and healthy, so they don't just fancy. But at that time, they felt like, okay, I'm going to get 1 month free. Okay, I think let me try it out. And I think we had a reduction in our churn rates month on month after we experimented this referral program. So it's always good to experiment, test and experiment. Whatever works, continue. Whatever is not working, repurpose it to see if it's going to work. Email marketing. Email marketing is one of my interesting customer acquisition strategies. When you bring them in from your digital ads, from your referral programs, it brings you to your email marketing. Email marketing till now is still one of the most cost-effective direct communication channel to engage your potential and existing customers. For instance, you bring in people. You might even have people already, and you don't want to spend on targeted ads outside right now, maybe because you don't have a budget and you have a campaign you want to share. Your email marketing channel is how you can actually, push that content out to your audience, especially your existing users or your potential people. Getting a lot of people know how to get emails. People put it on their website where they say subscribe to our newsletters, join something and all of that. They're able to get people's email to start sending them communications about their products, about what they do and all of that. And trust me, email marketing has proven to be one of the best channels. I'm not even gonna joke. Email marketing, and I think push notification is also doing the best now. Push notification is very good now, because a lot of people, once they see the notifications, they are trying to see, okay, what exactly are these people up to again? They scroll down, they look at it, okay, interested. If it doesn't interest them, they close it back. But I mean, you are still on top of their mind. They are still on top of their mind to say, okay, I'm here, or we are here for you, or whatever it is that you're doing. So I'm going to be moving to the next slide, which is the current marketing trends in 2024. I want to also believe once again that we're all familiar with AI tools, hyper personalization. AI tools are enhancing user experiences by tailoring content and offers to individual preferences. We should know BAD. We should know ChatGPT. We should know what's the last one? There's one on Edge. I can't remember the name, but yeah, AI tools are really one of the tools that people are using right now to enhance their experience, to enhance their content. Whoever needs something right now, they go to one AI tool. Like there's an app called Caption. It's an AI tool also. When you have a video, that's why I say a lot of people don't need to overthink again, because you can just go online now and just search, give me an idea or something. So there's also Copy AI. There's a lot of AI tools that actually helping a lot of people, you can even personalize this content with this AI tool. You can tell an AI to give you a script on so make it so minutes, and do it this way. It's for your product, it's for this, and AI is going to give you everything you need to know. The next one here is local marketing growth, emphasizing local SEO SEO strategies is very critical for your business to attract nearby customers. I was just telling someone recently about the fact that, when I search for someone that is my stylist, she's around me here, and when I search for her, she's a very good one. When I search for her, and I'm like, I'm not seeing you on the search engine, so it probably means that some people are already even searching for maybe fashion academy near me, and they don't find you, and you are actually in this area. So it means that you are not locally optimizing your business. You are not locally letting people know that you are around this place. Because one thing I do, like, quickly, is when I need something is, oh, okay, makeup artist near me, something near me. That's the way I search for a lot of things. I Most of the things I do, I just search them online. I can even do a boutique near me and all of that, and I'm able to get it. So it is always very important to localize your product, your business, so that when people search for things they want to do, they're able to quickly see you on top, not at the bottom. Immersive experiences, investment in AR and VR technologies are creating engaging customer interaction that drive product. This one is right now, I think Apple products and Meta are the two people actually doing this right now, with the old Oculus thing that they just brought out. And if you've had experience of this VR and the AR, I'm sure you would really love it. Where you just wear something that helps you, make calls, work, or you're able to work, not having to touch a laptop, not having to be anywhere. All you just need to wear the glasses, and you're able to do the things you need to do. So yeah, those are the current trends that I have seen recently in 2024. So let's go into the role of transparency in branding. If you realize, the first thing I mentioned when I talk about your brand identity, I mentioned the fact that when you do a lot of all those things I spoke about, this is what it's going to do for you. Number one is your consumer expectations. I saw this fact online, which is that 86% of customer values authenticity, value customer actually value authenticity when choosing brands. If I want to search for something, sometimes I just go to I can go to let's say, let me say an example. Yeah, let's say an example of fashion academy near me. If I search for fashion academy near me and I'm seeing the reviews, the first thing most people will check, even for movie lovers, when we hear that a movie is out, the first thing we go to check sometimes is Google, just to check for the reviews. So if if the review is not good, if people are not talking about it well, we'll probably not be very good with it. So the next thing is sustainability matters. 59.2% of companies now include sustainability in marketing. I'm very sure we are aware with this. Local marketing growth. Brands should highlight their commitment to social issues. It is very, very important to make sure that when you are putting out your brand, you also want to highlight your commitments, the fact that, oh, we are here to help you, because if you're not solving my problem, I'll probably not be interested in, coming to your brand, or using your brand, or patronizing your brand, or even talking about your brand to anybody. Um yeah, so the next one here is budget consideration. I had to put this because I feel like a lot of time people do not really consider their budget, especially as a marketing professional, when they are, putting things together, especially your email marketing, your social media marketing, your targeted ads. So that's why I had to put this here. So the first one here is marketing budget reduced to optimized resources, 7.7%. And I think one of the reasons this has decreased over time is majorly to align with optimizing expenditure value. And let's not also forget that the economy of the country also is also affecting a lot of companies. So a lot of companies are just trying to weigh their options to see, okay, should I reduce my marketing budget? Should I increase it? If it doesn't align with what I'm trying to achieve for my product, do I need to even keep this or not? That is why we also always want to make sure that whatever marketing strategies we are doing or we are implementing, we are making sure that we are what's the word? We are oh my god, attributing. Yeah, we are attributing the successes. That's why I have always attributed. I'm always keen on attribution. If you're not attributing your marketing successes, your marketing budget will just be, it will keep reducing. So it's always important that we attribute whatever it is that we do. Now, emphasis on social media marketing for enhanced brand visibility, 39.5%. Allocating 39.5% of your budget on social media marketing reflects the strategic focus on leveraging digital platforms for increased and brand exposure and engagement. So, whatever marketing budget you have, it's always good to at least keep 39.5% of it, for your social media. You want to let more people come to your platform, because whatever content you are putting out, you don't just want to put out your content for nothing's sake. So you want to put out content on your social media and make people also see it. You want more people to come to your page. You want more people to reach your page. So that's why you need to always do your brand awareness campaigns and all of that. So we have marketers prioritizing investments in AI tools for operational efficiency. In this place, we have 90%. The significant percentage, 90% of marketers planning to increase investment in AI tools is underscores the industry shifts towards leveraging technology for enhanced efficiency and productivity in marketing operations. um I'll be moving to the next slide, which is key performance indicator. How do you know that your marketing strategies or your every work you've done in your marketing so far is working? Tracking your customer acquisition costs, monitoring your social media engagements, utilizing feedbacks, and measuring your return on investment. These four things are very key when you run any marketing strategies, when you spend on anything, any marketing spend you do. These four things are what is going to help you, stay on track to say, okay, marketing strategies are working or they are not working. These are the things that are going to help you. So we have leveraging customer user generated content. User generated content, 80% of consumers trust user, because I mean, if you're telling people to do a video to your theme song, that you're going to give them a certain amount of money, a lot of people will jump on it, especially if you're a credible brand. That is why it's always very important to, build a brand that people trust, build a brand that people value, because that's how they would always want to just generate content for you naturally. This also foster community engagements, and user-generated content encourage customers to share their experiences, build a vibrant community around your brand. These are the things I actually did at Reliance, because naturally a lot of my influencers, they just do content, they just post something. When they are in the hospital, I don't even tell them to do videos for me. I only tell them, when you go to the hospital to use my healthcare, do a content naturally. Let me see what you can do. And some of them do videos. They do a video that even says, "Oh, get ready with me to use my Reliance healthcare, blah blah blah, yada yada yada." They go to the hospital, they just do content for me naturally, and this also builds brand loyalty. Utilizing user generated content effectively strengthens your customer loyalty and emotional connection to your brand. I mean, very, very simple. When customers, when it doesn't look planned, when people are not, you're not having to pay people that use your product. Because if people use my products and they love it, they will naturally talk about my product. So that's why you should encourage user generated content. And yeah, utilizing podcasts. If you are all familiar right now that podcast is a thing, and trust me, podcast work effectively. Podcast works what effectively. It is a very, very marketing tool that a lot of people should actually leverage on. And to me, I see podcast marketing in 2025 as one of the biggest things that is going to happen. I knew it was going to be big in 2024, but it's not even as big as I'd envisaged. Probably because of with the way economy is, maybe people are not able to buy a lot of equipment, and maybe studios are becoming more expensive. But trust me, crafting a unique brand voice image that resonates with your target audience, differentiate you for your competitors. Example that I put here is about Nike, which says just do it. That's their slogan. That's a brand identity. Utilizing digital marketing essentials, developing acquisition strategies, effective market. So a lot of all these things is very good when you actually want to start a podcast. And trust me, you should start a podcast for your brand. It's like you would see how much of a big deal it is. Yeah. I think this should be the last slide.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the last slide.
Yeah, this should be the okay. Yeah, last slide. I am right. I'm
Kindly
right.
stand by.
I'm right. Adapting to positionless marketing roles. I probably should just keep and just do my key takeaways. Yeah, the key takeaways here in everything I have said since is trusting user generated content. It is very important that whatever product you are selling, you are able to get people to naturally, talk about your product, naturally, inform other people about your products. They are able to tweet about it, say, oh, I just used this product and it was a very good product. I recommend you using this product. They are able to go to your Google My Business page to drop a review and all of that, because doing this fosters community and it also builds your brand loyalty. Thank you very much. My name is Elizabeth once again, and I don't know if you have questions or anything you want to ask.
Well, even if we start asking questions, which we have asked our participants to just share with us, because it's only that we have a very short time, because the explanation, the ideas, insights you're giving needs hours. Perhaps we can organize another session so that we continue with this discussion. But we have to be brief so that we can also tap wisdom from other speakers. Elizabeth, we stay there. We will always reach you with questions when they pop up, and we request speakers that to share with us their slides. Our colleague or my colleague will reach you out either through LinkedIn to share, so that we keep a record and be able to share with our participants. So next speaker is Victoria Nyanzi. Victoria, kindly open your mic and briefly introduce yourself, and spend about 10 to 12 minutes to talk to us, because we may be caught up on the way. We have 3 speakers to go. Elizabeth, sorry, Victoria Nyanzi.
This is super crazy, but we'll get it going. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Kelvin. And
Good afternoon. Welcome.
good afternoon to everyone on the call. My name is Victoria Nyanzi. I'm from Uganda. I'm a marketing and PR consultant. I'm a certified PR professional by the Chartered Institute of Public Relations in London. But I'm strongly passionate about a first impression and the effects of what it can give to somebody's lives. And that drove me to understanding and taking a course in personal branding. So currently I'm a personal branding coach. So I combine all the 3: marketing, public relations, and personal branding. Ideally, they all work hand in hand. And probably that's why we are on this call today. I want to first start by thanking the previous speakers. Oh my God, they've shared a lot of knowledge. They've tapped on all the nitty-gritties, brand identity, marketing, search engine optimization, and everything. So I know our mood is there. And let me see how I can share something in just 10 minutes so that the mood still stays there. So let's see. It's 13:38 in my country. I'll be done by 13:48. Fingers crossed. Just kindly confirm if you can see my screen.
It is loading. Eh?
All right. If you can see my screen, then you'd have to confirm again if you can still see the screen.
Yes. We can see the screen.
Great.
Yes.
This is our mood. We've tapped in all of this knowledge, everything. So it's just pouring on us right now. And I want to keep it like that for the next 8 minutes. So a lot has been shared: brand identity, social media, and everything. And the other thing I didn't mention about myself is that I tell stories. I'm passionate about storytelling to the level that I recently started a community, a coaching community, coaching young girls to empower them, learn how to tell their stories while building their personal brands. So I'm going to just go through a little brief about social media, but also storytelling. Yeah, let everything flow down, let everything flow down. So if we look at the statistics, or if you do some research right now, over 90% of people 18 to 29 use social media. Like Gen Zs are using social media. So if someone has a product, if someone has a business, you basically have to find out how are you going to position that business, how are you going to position that product to appeal to the Gen Zs, to appeal to 18 to 29-year-olds, even when they are not your biggest target audience, even when your biggest target audience is 65 and above. These that the 18 to 29, the 90% are the brand cheerleaders. They make the noise for you, and then your brand is able to be seen by the decision makers. So that's why I want us to see how do we tell those kind of stories to that audience? How do we make sure that our brands are top of the mind every time they think about our products? Same story, and that same target audience depends on word of mouth. Like when my brother hears his friend saying something, he's going to just take it up because the friend has said. And that is the reason why TikTok is the highest growing platform at the moment, because people there are producing raw content. They are not scripting content. And we have come to a level where even TikTok is making it difficult for us that script content to penetrate the platform. Like they're giving higher advantage to mobile content. So when you have a camera and you do all of this scripting and you make your beautiful video, it does not get the reach it has to get when it is raw and not scripted on a mobile video. So this is like the power of Gen Zs, the power of that kind of word of mouth, that they know that people are relying on. Has Thomas said this? Has Thomas used this? That means it's something I can use. So if there is anybody on the call that is a service business, a product business, or even if you're an individual and you want to grow your personal brand, you need to look at it in that angle, that social media is really advocating for stories, for things that are raw and just as authentic as possible. So this is why stories work. This is why stories work. I have used this presentation in a couple of trainings for university, because I do sessions with them on some days of the week. So it's a continuous presentation. Stories work because they bring in a connection. They connect you to people. It's like a scientific connection, brain to the heart. Every day for me on my social media, especially LinkedIn, I tell stories about how I've grown up, how the challenges I've had, what I've been able to overcome. And those stories connect me with people. Like, people then come to you they feel like they know you. Someone meets you in a conference and they say, oh, last time you shared about this. Oh, it's so good to see that you're able to overcome that kind of situation. And I was listening in when 𝐿𝐷𝐿 was presenting, and he said he used storytelling. He went up and above to just go in and just tell stories about farming, what he's doing over there, and how it can change the entire agricultural industry in his country. So stories bring in a connection. Stories make people remember you. They create that relationship. They create empathy. They give people memories about you. Just imagine if you are a business, if you're a personal brand, and everything that you share on social media is particularly from AI, it's from ChatGPT, you are sharing the same things. We are over 17 people on this call, but all of us can go to ChatGPT right now and ask it for digital marketing essentials, and it can give them to you, and you can make a social media post. So what is going to make your social media content stand out as a brand, as a business, is the infusion of stories. It's how you're going to tell us what it is that you're doing, what challenge have you gone through, how did you interface that client, how were you able to go about that situation. That is how you're going to be able to stand out as a business, as a brand, and as a person. And the other thing, stories add value to your content, to your brand, to your personality. I've given you an example of, I meet people right now and they can relate to me simply because of the 1, 2, 3 stories I tell about my imposter syndrome, my self-esteem issues, and so much more. And if it's a young girl and she read that story, she's going to relate and she'll be like, yes, I'm going through the same. Sometimes I feel like I'm not enough. And I don't need to do so much to actually convert her into becoming a member of my community, because the story I shared made her feel like this is the same thing I'm going through. So if you're a business owner, you have a reason why you started that business. This is just, stories are repeatable, they are shareable, they compel action. But why? How do you start to tell a story, and what is a great story? The answer is in here, in the why. If you're a business owner, if you're a professional, whatever it is that you're doing, you have a reason why you started that business. And that is your biggest story. That is the story that you have to start to tell in your content, on your social media pages, even when you're speaking about yourself. You saw a problem that nobody was solving, so you are solving that problem. So when you are speaking about your business, we need to know why you started that business and how you are solving that problem. All of these, so many buzzwords that come in from the different tools that we can use, the AI, the scripts, they can all support the content, but the biggest issue is why are you doing what you're doing? Now, what makes a great story as well is the how. So this is why you are doing what you're doing, and this is how you're doing it. If someone was keen enough, I just had maybe a minute to introduce myself, and I said I'm strongly passionate about a first impression. So that is one of my whys. I am strongly passionate about a first impression. So how am I making sure that people give off the very good first impression? I offer them personal brand coaching. So, and like that is the power of a great story. You have a why. You were going through a situation, your family had a challenge, your business was going through something, you had a neighbor that didn't have this thing going on well, and you notice that if I start to make this kind of craft, if I offer this kind of service, if I'm staying in an apartment and I see people having challenges with a laundry, so I offer that kind of service, I'm going to stand out and start pitching my business that I saw a need. That was the why. This is how I'm doing it. So that is what makes a great story, and that is the kind of story that will help your business, your brand, or you as a personality stand out. Now I have to do a lot of wrapping because I have 2 minutes left. A lot has been said about the brand identity. So when you're going to tell your story, of course, you need to know your mission. What do you want? What is your long-term plan? What is the impact of your business, or what is the impact of your brand as a person, which is very important. Now, I just want to get into something small about your mission on social media when you start to tell your story. Most of the time when people get to social media, we see what other people are doing, and we may think we want to do the same. Like, let's say if you're on a platform like Instagram, you see it's a showcase of lifestyle. Everyone is showing their nice food or what they're doing, and you don't have your mission or your purpose in mind. So you think, oh, this is what I should also do as well. I need to just follow the trail and do what other people are doing. You need to have a clear mission when you put yourself, your business, your brand on social media. Do you want to grow? Do you want engagement? Do you want to connect with people? Because we all have different missions. We all have different reasons why we are trying to put our businesses online and why we are trying to stand out in people's minds. There's a lot of controversial content on TikTok. Everyone is sharing something, but that does not mean that, oh, to stand out on TikTok, we should all be dancers. When you have your mission that, you know what, my mission is I want people to see me as a reputable person that is doing ABCD kind of business. Even when I'm not getting the engagement, because my mission is to grow, to connect, I'm going to keep doing that, because I know I'm going to have one decision maker that will connect with me simply because of how I'm telling my story on that particular platform. So it's so important that you know why you are doing what you're doing on the social media platform. Then before I wrap up, the other thing into the storytelling is know your message. How is your message going to come about? And now this comes into things like the voice, the tone, the pillars, and the goals. All the time, your message on social, your message on digital should really be speaking about who you are. Like all the time, that should how your voice should come up. Like it should speak like who you are as a person. There should be some emphasis on the situation. You let's say you are running the example I will give will still be my kind of business, so it will not be relatable to so many people. But there should be emphasis on the situation when you're sharing your message on social media. And then, because you have people that are following you, you have an audience, you want them to take a particular type of action when they engage with your content. So you need to be particular about that. Most of the time when we get to social media platforms, especially because we don't have a mission, we don't know, we are not even sure what we want people to do when they consume our content. We don't know if we want them to come to our DMs. We don't know if we want them to buy anything. We are just sharing because Tom, Dick, and Harry is on social media. That's why it's important for you, know your message, the voice, the tone, what command is it going to give? Are you commanding them to buy a product? That means in your mission, you wanted to sell on social media. Then the other thing in the message is your pillars as a business owner, as a brand or someone. Like, we are all in a circle of so many things that we are doing. If I sat down as Victoria, as Carol, and identified that the things that describe me are three, maybe one is marketing, the other is public relations and personal branding, that is going to be my message. I'm going to make sure that since I want to speak to that type of audience, I'm not even going to have conversations about relationships, personal finance or anything, because I want my brand to be known for certain pillars that make up my message, whether I'm a business business or a personal brand? And the fourth or last thing is now the goals. What do you want to get out of the message that you're putting out there? This all takes us back to the mission of the business. Now, I said I would be done at 13:48. I have a lot I would love to share, but I'm not one that wants to take up a lot of time. So I'll over to you, Kelvin, just in case we have another time I can share this entire session, because it's just a lot I wanted to share about today.
We feel it. We feel it, Victoria, and we promise you that we have several episodes to come. This is the fourth episode. We will definitely invite you. We have not eaten your time. You must have your time. So, first impression, know your message, be unique, original, vision. Those are very powerful words from Victoria, and we must all practice that. Victoria, thank you so much. This is, though you have gone as speed as a jet, the point is at home, and we are sure to invite you. Kindly share this information with us. We will keep you on the loop and invite you in the next episodes we have, and all our speakers. Our next speaker is Margaret Trudeau. Margaret, you will also move as a jet, and we welcome you to introduce yourself and pour your wisdom with us. Welcome.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Calvin, for creating this platform for us to share and inspire people. I have been inspired. I came in when Elizabeth was talking, and I was already thinking about launching a product and how I'm going to market it. Trust me, it's hashtag, overthinker in the house. So I'm really happy to be here in the midst of you all. I'm so glad that I was listening to what Victoria was saying about, branding. And kudos to you, Vicky, for, your personal branding. I really cheer you on. That's a great addition to what you're already doing. So I want to just add my 2 cents, because I feel like with all the things that have been said, I don't think I have so much to say that is going to come off as new. So I'm going to take the approach of talking about this from my own point of view. And in terms of, you see, the thing about marketing is that it's always changing, right? One thing that I would say that I have learned is that what might actually work for this company this year, or this principle that a marketing guru might have said, is certainly not going to be the same thing we're going to be talking about in that same year, a few months to come. And so the moment you understand this principle, you'll be able to take it easier on yourself, be more open to experimenting and finding out what actually works and what doesn't. Some people will tell you, let me use Twitter, for instance. Some people will tell you that if you go to Twitter and you just reply comments 100 a day, that you're going to grow your followers. While that can be true, I'm here to tell you that if you add, connecting with a fraction, a tenth of those 100 comments in the DMs, you will grow spontaneously more than people who are just commenting and going, right? So someone might try the first step and it might work perfectly well for them. They don't need to go ahead to connect. Someone else might be like, okay, I do not have the time to invest in 200 comment replying. Let me go the approach of connecting with these people intentionally in the DMs, and they find out that works for them. So that dynamic is something that is prevalent in marketing and isn't going anywhere anytime soon, right? So that is what you would also bring when we're talking about building a brand identity. I mean, Elizabeth was talking about how if you want people to, you want your product to go far, you should tap into the emotions of people, right? So you tell people emotional marketing as it is. You get user-generated content. I mean, in Web3, because I'm also into Web3 as much as I am in the health industry. And you see, most of these Web3 products, what they do is when the project wants to launch, some of them, they get contributors or ambassadors who go ahead to, toot their horn. And so what happens is that these people, these creators, they tell their own audience, hey, look, this is what's coming to the blockchain industry. This is what people are trying to, this is the innovation, and this is how you're going to use it. Now, the amount of money that project would have spent on ads, they have put it, or even less, in these ambassadors, in these contributors, and got more results. So it's really important for you to know, as much as you're building your brand, this is what you are going to be known for, that you also take time to invest in other people saying what they think of you, because those people themselves have built a name for themselves that people know, like, and trust them. And so whatever it is that they quote unquote endorse is going to help your brand. So that is like a very unique element when it comes to whatever it is that you're building. You see, marketing and branding, they go hand in hand. And so if, for instance, you're trying to succeed, it will be very important for you to, as much as you're trying to, you know, paint your house, which is your brand, your company, in the best light possible, that you're also ensuring that you imbibe and inculcate the habits of getting other people to do just as much as the work for you, right? And so, I mean, if we're looking at how you're going to be able to make people to come back, you have to give them an experience for them to come back. While I do not have a product that I am selling that would, you know, put in customer retention, let's bring it home to personal branding, where you are creating content and, you know, there are a lot of people doing the same thing you're doing. So the question begs to differ is, how do you make sure that these people come back to you? And I'm going to share this technique that I used on LinkedIn, and it worked for me. And one thing I did was I went to look for someone that I'm connected with, that I relatively know to some extent, who has a huge amount of influence on LinkedIn, and they rack a lot of comments, engagement on their posts. And so they made one, and I just went in there and totally did, okay, you know what, instead of just leaving a comment based on what the post is about, let me go and interact with this person's audience as if they were my own audience, because if they're connected to me, these people are potentially connected to me as well. And I started to interact with them, sharing my own ideas on their own opinions, without, of course, being coming off as hot, right, too much, or encroaching on other people's opinions. So when I finished doing that, I found out that I looked at the statistics, right? And that's something Elizabeth said, you looking at ROI, your campaigns, are they doing well? So I looked at that and I saw that most of the people that I engaged with, that I connected with, they went to check my profile out. And that's, I think, before I did this little experiment, I made a post on LinkedIn, right? I made a post, just a normal post. And this post I made on LinkedIn was after 8 months of not opening the app. As per no post, nothing. I just made a post. And of course, you would know what that would be. It's not going to really go well. And so when I went to the person's post and started to engage with them, those people checked my page out and went to interact with my last post. And so that post that you can say didn't really go well started to do well. I mean, it racked about 1,000 impressions and more. For someone who hasn't even opened the app for 8 months, I think that's quite, you know, a good result. That's quite good. And then I noticed that the next time I made a post, which was the following day, most of the people I had interacted with from the previous day in a post that wasn't mine, they saw my post. And the reason is because the algorithm sees that, oh, wait, these people are interacting, which means that they probably know each other, which means that they probably want to see each other's posts. So when I make a content, they are going to see it, they're going to react. It's all about you understanding, how does this thing work? It's not enough anymore that you have a big idea, that you have a brilliant idea. If you're not able to understand these algorithms, which we cannot do without, you're not going to be able to disseminate that great thing you have to the people. And so it defeats the whole purpose of your big idea, the amount of investors you have backing you. So that's just the whole, I mean, we have talked about SEO, how you can make sure that your content isn't just optimized for Google, which is a search engine, but for Instagram, for Twitter, for TikTok. These are things that, you know, social media is something that is very key to whatever it is we're doing. Because as much as you have something, there are so many brilliant people out there. There's so many brilliant minds all over the place who we don't know of, we've never heard of. And that's just because they haven't yet understood the role that social media plays in their campaign. They haven't yet understood that. So I feel like in the coming years, months, when you start going to colleges to look for courses to apply for, you're literally going to see social media marketing there, and it's going to be like a 2-3 year course, I'm telling you. And they're going to charge you thousands of dollars for you to pay and learn these things, because it's becoming bigger than we expected before. It's no more something that you overlook or you underpay. It's something really key right now. Social media can literally take a brand from zero to hero. Some people are having thousands of followers, making money for something that ordinarily no one will pay attention to, just because of the amount of people they can get looking at their screen. So this is what I know that has worked for me. This is what I am applying to brands that I own and brands that I manage, right? It's just a combination of what we've been talking about all morning. And even if you haven't gotten anything from, what I have said, you should understand the fact that social media plays a key role in making sure that any brand goes anywhere. And that whatever it is that you're doing might not necessarily work for another person. Whatever another person is doing might not necessarily work for you. You should be open, whether you are the owner or you are a marketing manager for any company here listening, you should be open to experiments, because that's what makes us marketers, right? We do not act based on speculation. We test. Is it working? Then we double down. So I really do hope that these few points of mine, 12 p.m., that I have been able to hit home some points. And yeah, thank you so much, Kelvin, for giving me this opportunity.
Wow, thank you so much, Margaret. I know the few minutes have put you on a speaking champion. It seems like you're on Olympics. But thank you so much. One thing with all of you is the presentation is clear, clean. So thank you so much. We stay there. I'm told you have another event to attend. Thank you so much, but you can stay with us. We are almost done. We have the last speaker, who is Wale. If Wale, you're here, talk to us briefly so that we can hear your wisdom as well. Thank you. Wale? Well, it seems that Wale is not in. Of course, he was here. Perhaps he has suffered a network connection. And at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Our speakers from 10 Byte, Victoria, Jean, Margaret, Elizabeth, thank you so much for creating time. I know it is not easy. It is a weekend, and you volunteered. We are so indebted. We will keep you in a loop. You are our partners. We'll keep you in all programs we're doing, and we look forward to collaborate with you even more. To our participants, thank you so much. Sitting for 2 hours, but were it not for the professionalism and experience of our speakers, that is why we are still here. We want to wish you well. We are going to invite you in other coming episodes, and feel free to join us in every Saturday so that you can, you're not limited to give us more information. Just drop your links. I have followed at least Victoria, Jean. Let's follow each other. That way we now think as global, because whatever we do, it is out there. We will follow each other, follow our social accounts. We will follow your social accounts so that we keep exchanging ideas. We want to ask our participants and myself and all of us to practice what we have learned, because we don't practice. It is like the first image I saw from Victoria. You poured yourself a lot of water, no soap, no sponge. Let's practice. Thank you so much. Until next time, I wish you well. God bless you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.